Hey, welcome to another episode of the Fuel by Generosity podcast. Happy Wednesday to you all, wherever you are watching around the world. Welcome to another show. Welcome to another podcast. Happy Wednesday. It is, I believe the last Wednesday in January. Wow, look at it. Before you know, January is behind us. 2021 is off to a quick start, a rushing start. So I hope it's been a productive January for you. I know for me, it's been productive. It's been busy, but busy in all good ways and amazing ways. And I'm just happy to be here with you all today. Again, as I say, welcome everybody. If you are watching the show and you want me to share your comments on the screen, make sure you watch on our YouTube page or the Fuel by Generosity podcast page on Facebook. Do me a favor as you watch, make sure you share this podcast, make sure you share this episode so as many people can watch it. All right. We want to make sure we get the views. We want to make sure we get the visibility, and we want to just inspire as many people as possible. Today, we have a special guest. I was saying a special change maker. This is actually my first international guest, right? They're not in Baltimore, Maryland. They're not in the USA. They are all the way in Africa, in Kenya, Africa. Before I bring him up, let's do some introductions. My name is Rich. I am the founder and CEO and Chief Generosity Officer for Generosity Global. Welcome to the Fuel by Generosity podcast. This show is designed as a way to bring people closer to the mission of Generosity Global, which is to give clean drinking water to people in sub-Saharan Africa, empower women in the communities that we bring clean water to through menstrual hygiene, training and education. And stateside, in America, we give showers to people who are experiencing homelessness and just people who don't have a place to take a shower. And, the granddaddy of them all that started the organization, Selfless Saturday, giving food to people who are experiencing homelessness and hunger. And so we have 4 programs that we focus on, and each program has impacted lives in so many ways. Over 40,000 people with clean drinking water in sub-Saharan Africa. We are looking to make it 50,000 plus once we go into Kenya to drill our first well. And then once we buy that rig, amplify our impact and do so much more. We are looking to give more showers this year as the shower season is upon us. In a few more months, we're going to start Generosity Shower. And so this is just a way for us to bring you closer to our mission, for you to get to know everything that's happening. At the same time, as a way for us to highlight other people in our community, in our world, who are doing incredible things, who are using the power of generosity to make our world a better place. And today's guest is, none other than, I would say, if I wasn't calling myself Mr. Generosity, I would call him Mr. Generosity, just because this brother has an amazing heart, just a selfless man. Doesn't speak a lot in terms of his audibility or just speaking loud or speaking, but he is just somebody who is well thought out, but yet has a heart of gold, selfless, and connected with him a couple of years ago. And he's just been him and along with his wife have been so instrumental in helping Generosity Global as we make our entrance into Kenya to carry out our water project. So if you will permit me to introduce my brother from another mother, a man that I love deeply and a man that I definitely know together God has put us to do great things and to impact many lives. So without further ado, all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, please welcome my brother Job Bitange. Job, how are you?
Hello, hi.
Karibu.
Asante sana, asante sana.
Asante sana. How are you, brother? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Welcome to the Fuel by Generosity podcast.
Asante, it's actually a pleasure being here, and what a honor uh, and a very powerful introduction. Always good to hear what Generosity Global is doing. So I know what you are doing, and listening to you saying what you do is actually amazing and so inspiring. Uh, my name is Job Bitange from Nairobi, Kenya. Um, uh, I'm a journalist. I'm a father with 4 kids, and I'm also a proud teacher. I think that is a short introduction about me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How is the family doing? How is your lovely bride Nancy? How are the kids doing?
Everyone actually is doing fine
Yeah.
right now. They are asleep.
Okay.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's what is it?
actually,
Almost 1 a.m. over there.
yeah, it's morning. It's a new day here.
Well, good morning to you, brother. Good morning. Thank you for making yourself available today. For people who do not know you very well, again, I had a pleasure of meeting you for the first time. Last year around this time, I was actually living in Kenya.
Yeah.
This time last year, after we spent a few days over there, and but prior to that, we've been building this relationship over Facebook through mutual friend Cheryl, who connected us. So just looking, I was reflecting, the other day as to how, last year went and how things look so promising. But before we get there, um, for those who do not know you, who have not seen me post about you, who have not, you know, heard me or seen me share some of your videos, tell us a little bit more about, Job, the father, the journalist, the teacher. Tell us about you so we can get to know you more.
Uh, okay, thank you so much. I'm 39 years old. This year in December, I will actually turn 40, and I can say I'm a journalist, as I said. I'm a teacher, and I'm also a dad. Let me just touch a little bit about each career, as I can maybe put it. As a journalist, I work at CGTN, that is a China Global Television Network, as a video editor. And later I'll talk about it, how I've used my journalism as a career to impact into the community. Apart from that, with my lovely wife, Nancy, we founded Shine Kibera Educational Center, a school that we began in like 2009. That is during the post-election violence in Kenya. So we came up together. Uh, we decided to help the community, the children in the slum who are just moving around, not going to school, and we saw that they were actually going to have a bad life because they were lacking education opportunities. So we founded Shine Kibera Educational Center. From just a single room in the slum, it was like we didn't have any good structure. There was no curriculum. The attendance wasn't that serious. So we were taking students each and every day. From there, we decided it's good to give them a proper structure whereby we have good teachers, whereby we'll be checking on their education progress, even assess their learning. It's actually a big story behind that until we came to now organizing, coming up to a structure whereby we have different classes and the students were getting now quality basic education. though there were a lot of challenges before we moved from the one-roomed class in the slum, because a lot actually happens in Kibera. The structure that we were in, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't giving the kids a good education. There were a lot of women cooking around. Smoke was coming in, stray dogs. Sometimes people were drunk, would come and shout through the window. The drainage is also not good. Everything was smelly. So we thought, why can't we move from here to a different place? So once we moved, we actually impacted a lot in this kids' education. The place was nice. Now that is Shine Kibera Educational Center, it was clean. They were getting food, that is a breakfast and lunch, and we saw more kids who were actually coming. Challenges came in, and that is when we met Cheryl, your friend. And when she came, she partnered with us, and the school grew in different ways. From she actually came in and paid for us rent for the premise, offered to pay the teachers their salaries, and food for the kids. Now everything was smooth, and we reached out to many students. So far, as we speak, we have over 100 students who are under Shine Kibera Educational Center, even though they are in different schools because we closed, because reason being COVID-19. And also, we have one student who is in a university right now doing journalism. And also, we have 5 students currently who are in high school. And I can tell you, all the 5 of them, I'm 100% sure they'll pass very well and go to university, because that is something that I'm proud of, because once a student goes to university, a lot of needs actually go down. For example, like she can be able to access loans, so that if you don't have maybe someone to support their scholarship, even if it is fully, they can get some loan, pay for their education, and then come pay later once they get a job. There's a program like that. Also to mention, we have a few students who are not in Shine Kibera school, or they left a few years ago, but they got scholarship because of their outstanding performances, and they were enrolled to better schools locally, around 5 of them. That is something that we are also proud about. Apart from that,
let me ask you what with the education with the school, which because I've been there and I was moved, when I was there last year with Han and George on our visit. You took us through the school and you took us. We sat with the students, and just the story behind how you started this was very inspiring. What inspired you? Share with why these kids? Like, what was the goal for you to make this place this safe haven for these kids to get an education? For people who do not understand how bad it is or how not bad, because it's relative, but when we're talking about Shine Kibera, I mean the slums of Kenya, Kibera itself, how bad things are there. Like, get us a context, give us understanding why you felt you had to create something for these kids.
Okay, Kibera slum is actually a big informal settlement area. It's actually the biggest in Africa. With a small area that is like a 4 kilometers squared, with a very huge population, and close to actually 1 million. And from the people who live there, a big number a big number of them, they are actually casual laborers. They hardly make $2 a day. I wouldn't like to call them poor, but they're not getting good wages to sustain their families. So it's difficult for most families to provide basic needs like food, water, clothing, actually the basic needs. And the structures there, most of the structures are made of mud and sheet metal. The drainage is not good.
Not at all.
Yeah, so the conditions that kids grow in, they are not good, and it is easy for those kind of people to be forgotten. I can say most parents don't care because they take too much of their time, like hustling, struggling to make ends meet. So most of the kids are forgotten, and it is also not easy to have like a good record of what the kids go through in a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy for the kids to even abscond school or get into vices that can put them into danger.
Yeah, very
Crime, yeah, crime is rampant, and most people actually get away with it so easily. There are no good structures to monitor everything. So now with the kids, there's something to do with the foundation. When someone grows up, you need to get a good foundation, and the good foundation will actually determine a lot in your future.
Yeah.
And what also I noted is education is one area that can bring a lot of things together in one person. For example, in a school, that's where you can nurture someone's talent. That's where you can go tap it from. In a school, that is where they learn about hygiene. That's where they learn. Actually, it shapes someone's career, and I wanted to help these kids while they are young.
Yeah.
And so that they can have a vision, so that they can actually dream. And I also wanted to give them some space for them to like to grow up and find love.
Yeah.
Also at the school, we were actually giving 2 meals a day. Remember this
Yeah.
this community where people, most of them go for a meal a day, or sometimes can go without a meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
Now in school, by us providing food, that is breakfast and lunch, it was we were impacting to the community and to these children. Most of them, you will find, even in the morning while you are teaching, that is when they are supposed to concentrate, but most of them, they are yawning. You'll realize they haven't eaten.
Mm.
So sometimes even when you are learning, you're in the middle of a lesson, and you have a question like, can you tell us what you ate in the morning, or what did you eat yesterday night? An answer comes up like, I didn't eat anything.
Mm.
So it isn't even funny. It distracts the lesson in some way. So we were happy to come in as a as a school, and using the school to help this community. And for the years that we've been running the school, I can say that this is like over 10 years.
Yeah.
We've actually reached out to over 600 kids. Yes, most of them, they have benefited a lot from the school.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's incredible work that you and Nancy, are doing, have been doing over the last 10 years. It's work of the heart, because these are things that people can easily see these children and just ignore them. But I think one thing we realize is, the children, the best time to catch them is when they are young. The best time to catch them is when they are still young and available for us to teach them and shape them for their better future. And that is exactly what you and Nancy have done for over 600 children. And, more. And that only takes a heart of love and a spirit of generosity, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, it has not been easy for you, um, to not only, have this vision, but also go after the vision with everything in you, with, from a, journalist, salary or whatever meager means you had, to make sure that these kids have a fighting chance. And so for me, when I was able to see what you were doing from afar, it was only natural for me, to say, how can I help? How can Generosity Global be of help? Knowing that you already had, a major partner in place. Let's talk about, the help that Cheryl and, with Mission and Movement, has been able to give you over the years, and how that has helped you develop, Shine Kibera to his mountaintop.
Uh, okay, for missional movement, actually coming in is something that was really big. It's something that we couldn't have imagined. I know you have a good experience when it comes to like fundraising, asking for people to help. Uh, Even when how hard it is to remind someone who had pledged to give you something. It's
Mm-hmm.
even hard to remind the person politely that I'm here to remind you about your pledge, please. It's true. It's true. It's actually very, very difficult. Now,
Yeah,
you have committed yourself to helping these kids. They are looking up to you as their teacher, as their parent, as everything. Now it is up to you now to. They don't know anyone at the background. They don't know about Rich. They don't know about Cheryl. They're looking at you now. You're supposed to deliver to them. uh it reached a point where uh I was almost giving up, but it was difficult to call the students and the parents to tell them we are not able to move on any further. Uh so so Sharo actually came in slowly. At the beginning, she came in and paid for us rent for like 2 years, and that was so inspiring and encouraging. I
yeah,
actually
I can
felt like
imagine.
as long as we have a roof on top of our head, then we cannot be able to feed ourselves. So I continued going around and asking for help from people who are actually generous, like my friends, my family. Nancy, my wife, I can tell you, she also stood by the project. She was actually the one going there in the morning while I've gone to the office to work as a journalist, make sure everything runs smoothly, and at the evening she will tell me what was going on. And then Cheryl actually kept on coming each and every year, and we also used to communicate very well. Now, the second time she came, she actually noted the challenge of teachers. You know, teachers need to be paid because
Need to
they
be
also
paid.
have, yeah,
Yep.
it's
They have
difficult.
family. They have families too.
Yeah, she was
They
a
have
camping
needs.
volunteers all through.
Yes.
So she came in and gave the teachers a salary that is
Wow.
the salary. That was also something very big, you know, as in
Yes.
they have now, they'll be more dedicated and they'll be answerable to whatever they are doing. So they have to do some good job. They have to ensure the kids also get the best out of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and then after a while, she came in and helped us in terms of improving the feeding program. So she paid for the food. You know, you see, almost everything is catered for.
Yes.
We, once we actually receive the news that our mission and moving through Shero, they are coming in to support us in every single uh, area in the school. It was really touching. We felt relieved, and also we actually saw like there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that feeling very well. When you don't know how you're gonna, survive the next day, the next month,
Mm,
especially as an NGO or a school where you're depending on outside funding. It,
yeah.
it it makes it very, very challenging sometimes where you cannot sleep at night. But thank God for people like Sharon that show up at the 11th hour and see you for what you're doing and support you, without reservation, just because they believe in the mission, they believe in the work, they see the impact firsthand, and they can testify to that. It's something incredible to be said. Asante to all of our viewers, to my family in Kenya. Welcome to the Fuel by Generosity podcast. Thank you so much for staying up this late with us or early this morning. I'm sure we're going to share this later on. So when you're waking up, you can watch it again and you can, join in the conversation. But I want to thank you all so much. All of you who are watching, if you're watching on my page and you want my personal page, I can see your comments because I'm watching my phone screen. But if you need me to share your comments on the screen, please make sure you go to the Fuel by Generosity podcast page and type over there. I can see it. I can share it with Job and he can see it. And if you have any words of encouragement, please make sure you share it, you type it, so that way we can pass it along. Because the reality is, the work of generosity, as I will put it, the work of philanthropy, the work of giving back, the work of making a difference, those of us on the front lines, the reality is we need that encouragement. Because as you clearly hear here, sometimes we are almost that place where we want to give up, where we don't know how we're going to pay the rent. We don't know how we're going to pay teachers. We don't know how we're going to feed the kids. And it's almost like, why am I doing all of this? If the burden is so heavy. But that's not to say we don't like what we do. We don't love what we do. It's just sometimes the challenges are very, very real. And sometimes it takes a generous person, a generous heart, a generous spirit, somebody who is really connected to you with their heart, not just their money, but they believe in you and they want to come in and help as much as possible. And that's what Shell has done for you. And then COVID strikes, and that turns the world upside down, and that also has affected the Shine Kibera Educational Center. Tell us more about how COVID, that whole season, has affected you and what you've had to do now.
Okay. Now COVID actually caught, like everyone else, it also caught us unaware. We never expected it could take this long. Now we closed I remember we closed the school. Actually, it was on March 13th, 2020. uh, our children got back at home, and after a while their parents also, they lost their jobs, the little that they were getting. Those were like washing clothes for people around. Some were actually tailors, others are potters. So they lost their jobs because there was a restriction of movement, and also they now had to stay at home. And then they came in a lockdown where the curfew first, and also a restriction of movement, yeah, like a mini lockdown. No one could travel outside Nairobi. So people suffered.
Wow.
And we were in communication. We could walk to their homes and talk to them. And once you reach their home, actually you could see poverty with your own eyes. You can actually get into a house and have even a feel, even the smell. You could tell nothing has been cooked here. People are actually suffering.
Wow.
It's not only one person, there are many. Remember, even when you are walking towards their homes, maybe I'm going to visit a certain parent, but you will skip many people who are similar in a similar situation before you reach that person. So that is when I can say we were defeated. We couldn't know what to do. And that is when now Mission and Movement, Generosity Global came in to our rescue. And I actually, the first person I talked to, I remember, is a Cheryl, and then I talked to you. And there's some amount that we had budgeted that was supposed to be feeding the kids at school. First, I remember there was some amount that you gave us. That was $2,000 US, and also the amount that we had remained from the Cheryl's budget. So I talked to you, and you actually agreed we use the money to feed the parents and the kids at home.
Yes.
So we used that amount of money. Surprisingly, it was very little, and we did what we did, but the food couldn't actually last them for 2 weeks. Yeah. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, it's actually difficult to go back again and talk to your donor or your supporter asking for the same help. Actually, it's very difficult, but thank God, when I spoke to you, you acted very fast, and it's also good to understand these things. You acted very fast, and you started some fundraising, and I can say within a very short time. Before we go to a fundraising, what I wanted to say is we had a video call between me, you, and Sheena. It was interesting how we came up to a figure that I didn't actually expect. Yeah, sure. Because I thought of something like maybe $3,000 US or $4,000 US, and then we tried to survive. Sheena asked, what will $10,000 US do? I was like, okay, that is $1 million for us. That is $1 million. And we after the discussion, she came also again it closed up to a figure of $20,000 US. That is 2 million shillings. Wow. So I couldn't believe we could raise that money, so I just kept quiet. There's nothing I could do. I saw you sharing the images, sharing the stories that we were giving from Kenya within a very short time. Actually, is it 8 days or 9 days? We are actually raised that amount of money, and our team hit the ground. We had actually organized a very powerful team over 20 people.
Very powerful. Very powerful team.
These 20 people, including our teachers and also some youth from the community who went out, did the mapping. We tried to identify those who are the most vulnerable, though up to now I can say it was difficult to do that selection because almost everyone was in need. And we actually impacted a lot in the lives of the Kiberans. We were able to feed over 400 people for 3 straight months, giving them enough food. Apart from that, we gave out water to over 20,000 people for 3 straight months, as in water coming in, clean drinking water. They could use the water even for washing and cleaning. And apart from that, we also help some people to start small businesses, because there are those who are worried about how long they could get the food, and they said, I will request if you can give me the money so that I can start a small business. We have those who are like food vendors along the streets. Some have started some small farming, and up to now they have actually sustained their living. So when COVID came in, we were not expecting to get that kind of support. It came in, and right now I can say in Kibera, Generosity Global is a name that is well known. You will be surprised when you come next time and we walk around.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Because so COVID started to subside a little bit, and schools were reopened. Unfortunately, when the schools were getting ready to reopen, we realized we were not in a good position to have to keep the right measures as required by the Ministry of Health and the government, because our school is a small school.
Yeah.
And the population is a big. So if we try to cut down the number to, we have over 100 students. Our school, according to the measures that we're supposed to keep for the social distance, we are supposed to have like 40 students only in our school. And we thought that wouldn't make economic sense to have the teachers there for only 40 students. We don't have piped water. We rely on buying water. So that wouldn't also be safe for the kids to have enough water to clean themselves. And also the other reason actually is the area that we are in, it is actually a squeezed area. So I talked to Cheryl again. I explained to her. She understands this very well because she's been in Kenya for quite a very long time. Almost every year she actually comes. And we agreed to enroll our students in different schools, and the money that we've been using at the school is paying for their school fees. Though it has been a bit of a challenge, because not all of them are in school. Some of them they are learning at home, like we are doing homeschooling. So we are grouping them, and we send a teacher there to give them some lessons. That is what we are doing so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to share that video of Kimunga, but I cannot load it up. I think it's a powerful video that will convey the message. But Job, I must say, COVID caught us all by surprise, and I think we had so many big plans, and still with it all, we're still able to accomplish a lot. But the one thing that for me, still very much, committed to is the fire that you're committed to these children. We made a commitment to you, and Shine Kabera that we will support. We will take over the food cost annual budget, and that's something that we still are very much committed to. I think over the past few months we had to figure out how we're going to move, but as we have come into this year, we have an idea now how we are positioned to handle our external work regarding food programs outside of Baltimore, outside of America, supporting the students and stuff. So you and I are going to talk more about how we can get that program reactivated. But in terms of just having to make the decision to shut down the school, I know that was not an easy decision to make.
Yeah, actually, we are all attached to these kids very much. They are family.
Yeah.
We know all of them, where they live. We know their family members. As in, they're actually part of us. Before I go to school, each and every day, before I go to work, I had to pass by the school, greet them, and get some inspiration, get some motivation, be happy before I go to work. Even most of the time, you could find us at home with Nancy, my wife, discussing about the school, discussing about the kids, and we laugh about all the moments. While when the school actually was open, the environment is always warm, with the kids playing, hugging you, talking to you, sharing their stories from home. And because our school was small, you could stand even in the middle and listen to everything that is happening around. It was easy even to know when a kid has missed school, so that you can go and visit them at their home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it took us a very long time to decide and agree, yes, now let's shut down the school. But what relieved us is knowing that they are at least they will continue with their education under our watch, under our guidance. That is also something that is making us feel like we haven't made a bad decision so
Yeah.
far. We are in good communication. We have we actually soon launching a library where where they will be coming to borrow textbooks, because we know out there they'll be lacking a few things like textbooks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and school supplies. So we are setting up a structure where we'll put that. And also another thing is about our future dream, our goal, which has always been on the pipeline.
Yeah.
of building a high school, a larger school for them in Kisii. We hope to start a foundation this year, and that will shed some light on
How much will it cost to build that school? That is a dream you shared with me, and at that time you looked at that number was so big. But I told you to dream. I told you to dream big, to not be afraid. How much will it cost to build that school?
Okay. It will cost 15 million. That is 150.
150,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, let's pause. For everybody who's watching right now, just keep that number in your mind. Everybody who's watching the show, who is listening to the show, keep that number in your mind. $150,000 for a boarding school that is going to serve over 100 kids, boys and girls. And, generosity, we focus mainly on water, hygiene, food, and showers. One thing that we are committed to with Job is wherever he goes, we are going to support him with his food, with the food needs for the kids. So Generosity Global is going to focus on making sure that once the school is built, we can help meet the food need for the students because they come from poor backgrounds, poor communities. So I say this to say, if you are listening, just keep it in your mind. I see Sabrina is commenting on my personal page. She says it can be done. I believe it can be done. I believe that there are people out there who are just a phone call away for us to make the necessary connection. I don't know how it's going to happen, but as I've told you, you just have to believe that it's going to happen. If education is something that speaks to your heart, if education is something that you love, if educating children and making sure that kids have a proper teaching, proper learning as they grow up, and if this is something that is speaking to you, please reach out to me. DM me, message me, comment here. Let's find a way, a long-term plan to support Job. And it's because this is just one man who has this vision to help kids and has been doing it for 10 years. And even though we've been challenged with COVID, he has not given up on his dream. And I know you're going to be launching a campaign starting next month, I believe, and which is going to be about building this boarding school. So tell us about this campaign, and we're gonna find a way to get more people who are connected to this story, who are connected to education, who want to help in various ways. Tell us about your campaign.
Okay, Rich, I would like to say that first, before I go to the campaign, I'm so passionate about education because I know what it has done to me. I have seen what it has done to many people. I can say in Africa, most African countries, education is like the only thing that can help someone. Someone can have a talent, but without going to school, that talent might not come to reality. If you want to be a musician, you have to go to school because that is where you'll have things like music festivals, like some sort of competition where that talent is nurtured. That is the platform where you can showcase it. And so many things also come around education. That is a school. Things like a clinic, things like administration offices, I mean administration blocks, come closer to a school because that is where values are taught, and actually where many things happen. So people will tend to come closer to the school. It is actually because of these reasons that I would like to. I'm launching my campaign that is a run for education. I'm running to actually to make noise and to call upon well-wishers and supporters to come in and help us buy, even if it is one brick or a bag of cement. What can you say? Like timbers, even a bed, something for a dormitory to help us raise a science lab. I'm actually hoping we can get supporters who will help us build a high school which will hold over 300 kids. That is a high school, and it is going to be talent based, where we have those who are focusing on education and those who want to nurture their talent. If you want to be a drummist, a musician, a dancer, a vocalist, that is the school that will be the school of their choice. And I'm hoping with if I can have a good health to run, that is 2,500 kilometers this year, and eventually at the end, once I complete that, I would like to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I want to show.
I'm climbing with you next time when I come.
Karibu sana, thank you. Yeah, why am I doing this? Running 2,500 kilometers is like running from Mombasa all the way to Kinshasa. That is the capital city of DR Congo. Or for you to be able to understand well, is running by road from Nebraska to New York City. And after that, I'm planning to go to the top. To the highest point in Africa, that is Mount Kilimanjaro. Why am I doing this? I want to show my resilience and dedication, and how far I can push myself, the limit that I can push myself in order to give kids in Africa education. I wouldn't mind if I can't raise all the amount this year. Come next year, I will run again. The following year, I will run again until I reach the goal of 150,000 US dollars. I build a school, and then I can say I've done my best. I believe I'm doing my best. I believe I'm living my dream, because I've impacted a lot in the kids' education. That is through your support, through many people's support. I wouldn't say it is me alone. If it wasn't for all my friends and well-wishers, I wouldn't be here. Maybe I would have given up a long time ago. But because of all of us, I can say right now as we speak, over 100 students from Kibera slum are getting an education, and they are having a good focus. They are firing up their dreams, and they know who they want to be.
Yeah. No, I mean, Job, that is inspiring. I mean, the one thing I've always loved about you is this passion that you have for education. And you're not doing it for you. You're doing it because you see the potential that is in these children, and an opportunity that education will provide for them to open up their world. I have friends here who are watching with me. As you see, Sophie, she says running is her language. Sophie, she runs every year for Mission Ball and raises money for clean water projects. Indeed, it takes a village. Sabrina, I'm not sure if you can log on to the Fuel by Generosity podcast page on Facebook or the general and put your comment there, because I can't see it, but I can see it on my page. Sabrina says she is a certified education teacher and she is here to support. All I can say, Job, is we are here as a village to support you. Erica and I, we are going to make our commitment to you and Nancy, through investment. This is not even generosity. This is just us giving you that push personally to go and to build this thing. I believe in your dream. I believe in your mission. I believe in your focus. And I know that with the dedication that you have, with the passion that you have, this is going to come to pass. And I'm going to encourage all of my friends who are watching. I'm going to encourage those who are listening right now or listening at a later date, just to put a number in your heart. It could be $100. It could be $200. Eric, we already know our number. Eric and I, we already know our number. But whatever that number is, just think about investing in somebody's dream, but more so in investing in the potential for 300 children to have a formal education. That is the change that we can make, and that is the power of generosity, whatever that is. And then think about one or two other people that you have within your circle that you can recruit to help us reach this goal, because we are in this thing together. So I would say, as Job launches, when do you launch the campaign?
I will launch I think by 10th, actually it will be up and running, or February.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said it's the 10th of February?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's we'll keep that date in mind, and obviously, you know, I am there on social media to share everything that's happening, and also get people involved. Guys, this is what it's all about. This is what the power of generosity is all about. To most of us, it may seem impossible, that $150,000, but I don't believe that. I believe that, you know, through our various networks, there are enough people that we can connect to that can help achieve this goal. I know Mission and Movement they're gonna do their part. Generosity Global already stands committed when it comes to providing the food for the school. I have some friends who are watching, who are in education, that I'm going to reach out to, because again, we are looking to plant our seeds in something, into a soil that we know it's going to bear good fruits. And Job, for 10 years, you have done an amazing work. You and Nancy have done an amazing work, not to talk about what you're doing with Generosity Global, to help, you know, us grow the mission there in Kenya. So all that to say, Job, I just want to encourage you to hold on to that dream, to believe in your mission, to believe in the vision that God put in your heart, to not be discouraged when things don't go as you plan, but to believe that things are working out behind the scenes, some things that you cannot see, some things that you're not aware about, or that you're not aware of, but things are working out, and the universe is going to conspire for your favor, to bless you, to bring this dream to reality. It is not a vague dream. It is not an empty dream. It is not a dream that is just gonna be spoken and not come to reality. But I believe that this is a dream that has energy behind it, and a dream that is going to come to reality sooner rather than later. So, my brother, thank you for your generous heart. Thank you for your dream. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for believing in it. Thank you for investing in the kids the way that you invest in. Um, you know, it takes a special person. And just having spent time with you for a few days last year in Kenya, you are a special person, and I thank you for all that you do. So as we have been on this show now for 59 minutes and 43 seconds, people who have been listening to us and listening to us have this conversation, what words of wisdom, call to action, would you leave with our audience? What do you have to say? You know, it could be about the school, about the donation. It could be about encouraging others to go after their dreams. Whatever words you want to leave with our audience, please feel free.
Okay. What I can say is always things find their way and they actually connect. I mean, the dots always connects. You might look like it might look like things are hard, almost giving up. In so many times, I can say in our projects, mostly in the school, I've reached a point of despair, not knowing what I'll do the following day. But people have been there to support me, and I like the way even the way we work together, generosity global during COVID-19. I learned the power of collaboration and the power of speaking, the power of story. I mean, sharing your story, because it is through us sharing our story to you that you came in as fast as you came. It was as if you are just there waiting for someone to come and knock at your door so that you can help. That is actually what it seemed.
Yeah.
I also learned I learned that the whole world is filled with love. It is us who are just supposed to open up and get attached to the love, and once the love comes in, everything goes actually fine.
Yeah.
And I would also like to encourage everyone to support education, not only education, but to look at the foundation of a child and put something there. Right now, as we speak, like my young journalist Sylvia, she's actually only 14, but reporting, filing stories from Kibera, the biggest slum in Africa, filing stories from here to Deutsche Welle, that is the German media giant. That's like a 14-year-old being trusted by Fox News or HBO. So I can liken that to actually greatness.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, powerful. I think, those words, invest in education. We will live in, like, invest in education, invest in the young child, invest in people. And like you say, I told you that when I met you in person. Do not be afraid to tell your story. Do not be shy, especially when you're doing good, especially when you're doing something from your heart. There are people out there who are waiting to support because they're looking for somebody good they can trust, and that is what I believe in, and that's what I've built my life upon, is being able to be authentic, be transparent, and share those stories, because it connects us all to do bigger things. And I love what, so the word that Sabrina has says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Amen. Your vision, Job, your vision will come true, because your vision is not just for you. That vision is for many. That vision is for the world. And we as a village, we as a community will do our part to make sure that vision comes true. So, brother, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for joining us on the show. It's 1:30 a.m. almost 2 a.m. Nairobi time, and in Kibera right now, or Nairobi. So thank you. I know you got to go to sleep. We wish you all well, and as we say, asante. How do we say farewell? I'll let you close out the show.
I would like to say thank you so much for our viewers, for coming in and listening to us. From Kenya, we say asante sana, na kwaheri ya kuonana.
Na kwaheri ya kuonana. Goodbye. Peace out. See you on the next show. We are out.